Well, the second week of campaigning is now underway, and today there is a double backflip from the Coalition regarding its work from home policy and its plan to slash public sector jobs. Joining us live now is the Shadow Finance Minister Jane Hume. Jane, thanks for your time this morning. So it was here just last week. You were defending your work from home policy. So what's behind the change?
Pete, a Dutton coalition government will make sure that we deliver the essential services, the high quality essential services that Australians rely upon. We'll do so, though, by maintaining the size and the cost of the public service to make sure that those services can be delivered in the most efficient and effective way possible. We'll make sure that we cut the wasteful spending from the public service, and we'll also ensure that the size of the public service is reduced by 41,000 over a period of 5 years. That will be done through natural attrition, and it will be done through a hiring freeze. There will be no forced redundancies. Most importantly, we'll make sure that we enshrine flexible working arrangements, not just the ones that exist, but ones going forward in the future as well. This is a really important policy. It will be released in full today so that everyone can see. It's a policy that has been pursued by Labor with an unreasonable and unfair scare campaign that has suggested that these policies apply to the private sector, which they never have. They never did. And it was abominable, outrageous that the Labor Party should generate such a scare campaign, particularly directed towards women.
So is that why you're changing, though? Was it a scare campaign?
Today's policy document. Policy document.
Just to get back on work from home, I mean, back to the question, you were defending it just a week ago. So what's behind the change? Was it the female vote abandoning you? Was it the city votes? Was it the polls? Was it the focus groups that spooked you? Which was it?
Pete, we want to make sure that we deliver an effective and an efficient.
Yeah, but you're still not answering the question. What was behind the change? Because you were defending it here last week.
And there is no doubt, yes, and there is no doubt that there has been overuse of the availability of work from home within the Canberra public service. We've found graduates not being mentored or supported. We've seen stakeholders turning up to meetings where they've had to flown into Canberra from Sydney, but then everybody else is dialed in.
So why not hold the line then?
But what we have done is heard feedback from right around the country, particularly public servants that work outside of Canberra, who rely on work from home, those flexible working arrangements, in order to deliver the best and most productive services that they can. I heard from one nurse in the Central Coast that was telling me that she delivers a very important service, which is about making sure that patients don't represent to hospitals. But she does that remotely, and that she couldn't do it unless she did it remotely. They're the kind of public service that we want to stay on board, the services that we need, because let's face it,
so why didn't you do all this research prior to your announcement?
We're going to have to clean up Labor's mess. Well, the most important thing is that we want to deliver an effective and an efficient public service. We believe that this is the best way to do it.
So what is that?
In the 41,000.
Does that mean
a reduction in the 41,000 new public servants, half of which have taken place in Canberra, more than half have been appointed in Canberra. But let's face it, they haven't been delivering a more effective or a more efficient public service. If we look at the latest annualised data, if you want to apply for an age pension, it's gone from about 36 days under the Coalition to around 76 days under a Labor government. If you want to apply for a low-income card, it takes around 3 times longer now than it did under a Coalition government. To reach the PBS safety net, it used to take around 30 days, it now takes around 98 days. So a bigger public service doesn't necessarily reflect better public services. We want to make sure that we can deliver an effective and efficient.
So does this mean work from home as much as possible?
We believe we've got the balance right.
What are you going to do?
No, that's not at all what it means. That's not at all what it means. But we want to make sure that we enshrine flexible work, because we know that it's incredibly valuable to so many public servants to be able to deliver the most productive outcomes that they can. So, but that's what we want.
The point I'm trying to get to, though, is that you didn't have this view a week ago, and these were major announcements.
Well, that's because
so is this just point to indecision and policy on the run? Has the campaign been poorly thought out?
No, not at all. We've listened to feedback from right around the country, not just Canberra-based public servants, but right around the country, who are telling us that flexible work is something that they would like to see enshrined. Now, let's face it, it always was going to be enshrined. Flexible work was always here to stay. But what our concern now is that part of that flexible work should also be an ability to work from home where it's appropriate to do so. And that hasn't changed. The most important thing here, Pete, though, is that this policy never applied to the private sector. This was a scare campaign that was run by Labor, which is entirely outrageous because we know that when Labor run out of ideas, they simply lie.
Just a final point before we go, Jane. What do you say to your Conservative supporters who may have liked those policies that you put up? Are you in danger of driving them away now?
I can assure that anybody that wants to ask that we will deliver the most effective and efficient public service that respects taxpayer money, that reduces the wasteful spend that's going on in the public service. Things like a $620,000 speechwriter for Bill Shorten to be more empathetic, or $870,000 on 5 new artworks for one embassy, or $45,000 to commission a new piece of music to celebrate the opening of an embassy. That's not respect for taxpayer dollars within the public service. So we will restore that, but at the same time, we'll make sure that we have an effective and efficient public service that protects frontline workers, that protects national security, but makes sure it delivers on its promise of a more effective and efficient service to taxpayers.
All right. Well, Jane Hume, appreciate your time as always. Thank you. We'll talk again soon.